Hey guys, Tim here, aka FC21, bringing you week 5. Yes, week 5 of the Sunny Shore Battle Federation. This week we take on Hunch, coach of the Chicago Bullus. And currently we are in 8th position with a 2-2 record and a -2 differential. Given last week's debacle, not all that bad, honestly. We take on number 5, who's also 2-2 but has a 0 differential. Anything else interesting to say? We have the number 6 in kill leader, which is Articuno or Arboleva with a 5-0 record, which is pretty cool. One of my opponent's Pokemon is also in the kill leaderboard as number 9 with a 5-2 record. But I'm gonna tell you which one it is as soon as we get to him or her or it. I don't judge. Let's have a look at Hunch's team, and we start off with Tapu Koko as his first round pick. Tapu Koko is an annoying mon to deal with since it is both physical and special. So, yeah, it's either going to hit you on the physical side with things like Wild Charge or Play Rough. Can also go for the special side with T-Bolt and Dazzling Gleam. Can have a Pokemon's current HP with the Nature's Madness. Can Volt Switch out, sets Electric Terrain for his second Pokemon, which was Sneasler. Sneasler was brought to all 4 games so far and has a 4-2 record, so it's not on the kill leaderboard right now. I think I came up with a plan to make sure it won't get up there this week. Number 3 is his kill leader currently. The Rillaboom is 5-2 currently. Great physical threat with a high attack and high defensive stat. Has grassy terrain for the Sneasler as well, so he can either go with electric or grassy. The electric terrain will, of course, make sure Sneasler can put to sleep, and the grassy terrain makes sure he gets a way of reliable recovery and weakens the ground type moves used against it. Rillaboom has the grassy glide priority, which is pretty annoying to deal with, but not really all that concerned with the Rillaboom altogether. He has got himself a new Mega in Mega Blastoise, which he made at the beginning of the week, so it was still legal. Mega Bayonet was dropped for Mega Blastoise, and Mega Blastoise can't use Shell Smash, but still has a lot of ways of hurting Pokemon with his Mega Launcher ability. Aura Sphere gets boosted, Dark Pulse gets boosted, Dragon Pulse gets boosted, and I believe he gets all 3 of those. Water Pulse gets boosted. It can also be a Rapid Spin set, so enough opportunities there. Mandibus is one of his new mons. He dropped his Suian Samurott for that. Mandibus is a very annoying wall to break down with base 100 defense and 90 special defense. I mainly see this thing as a wall and not really as an offensive threat. It can go for things like foul play and use the attack stat of a certain Pokemon against itself, but again, I do see it more as a defensive threat that's hard to break down than a offensive threat. Fortress was brought to 1 game so far and is a reliable way of getting up hazards, in my opinion. With sturdy ability, he can live any 1 hit and get up the Stealth Rocks, get up the Spikes, get up Toxic Spikes. It has Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards on his own side of the field. Gyrable is a reliable way of dealing damage to things that are faster than hit, and believe me, that are a lot of options. Body press, using its high defense, so a lot of ways he can make use of that. Gudra is brought to 3 of the 4 games so far. This is the regular Gudra, not the Hisuian Gudra, and regular Gudra is more of a mixed attacker than Hisuian Gudra, with base 100 attack and 110 special attack. It doesn't really matter if he goes physical or special, so that's hard to predict. Dunfan came to 3 of the 4 games, and Dunfan is a Tera captain, just like Gudra is, which I forgot to mention. Gudra is Dragon, Poison and Fairy. Dunfan has the Ground, Grass and Ice type Tera type. Just like the Fortress, Dunfan can set up stealth rocks. I don't think it gets spikes, but it is able to rapid spin away the hazards on the side of his side of the field, and it's more of a physical wall threat, just like the Rillaboom. High physical stats and lower special stats. Not much of a speedster with 50 base speed, but still something with 1 or 2 rapid spins up that's able to outspeed things. His 3rd transaction he made this week was picking up Lilligant as also a Tera captain with Tera, Grass, Fire and Electric, and he dropped the Moltres for that. I can see it coming, but I do think things like the Dunfan are a better Tera option this week for him, and you'll see why in a second, of course. Lilligant is more of a special setup mon with Quiver Dance. It can boost its own speed, just like his special attack and special defense. So if I want to take it down, I need to go on the physical side for that. He rounds up his team with 2 Pokemon that hasn't been brought to any game so far, and those are the Kangaskhan and the Hypno. Kangaskhan I do have a bit of prep for, but not all that much because I don't really see it coming. And Hypno I didn't account for much in my prep. I do have ways of taking it down, of course, because you need to prep for, you have to have at least something for everything, but I did not do much for the Hypno, to be honest, and let's hope I won't be regretting it and get swept by it. So yeah, let's have a look at my team for this week. We start off with Juggernaut the Celesteela as a physical breaker and a wall set with max HP, 108 attack and 152 defense. This thing is very much on the physical side with Impish Nature and a Beast Boost. So this thing is mainly here to wall Sneasler, basically, because Sneasler's close combat is a 3-hit KO on me. If he has a Sword Stance up, it's a 2-hit KO, where I barely live 1. And against max physical defense, that's the only way of Zen Headbutt not OHKOing that thing. So in any other case, Zen Headbutt will just clearly take it out. Stone Edge is for things like the Mandibus that otherwise would be able to kind of wall it. And Zen Headbutt of course doesn't do anything against the Mandibus, and otherwise I would be walled completely. Toxic and Leech Seed is for any defensive Pokemon. Many defensive Pokemons, let's say the Rillaboom can't really break through this. Fortress can't really break through this, but I can't really hurt the Fortress as well. I do have the Leech Seed for that. Gudra can't really touch me except for things like Fire Blast or something, or other coverage moves, and even that don't OHKO me. So I can throw up a Leech Seed and switch out into a better counter for those. That's the Juggernaut set for this week. Next up we have Kaldogo the Arcanine as a physical breaker, max attack, max speed, Jolly Nature, Rockhead. Choice Band with the Tera, Rock, Flare Blitz, Head Smash, Extreme Speed and Wild Charge. He really does not have much of an answer to my Hisuian Arcanine, I found out during calculations. There are two things that are naturally faster than Hisuian Arcanine, that being the Tapu Koko and the Sneasler. Both have a 130 or at least a plus 100 base speed, which is quite some points higher than Hisuian Arcanine, which maxes out at base 95, I would say. So those things will always outspeed me no matter what, except if I run Choice Scarf. But like I said, Choice Banded damage is just very hard into my opponent, and he really doesn't have much switch-ins to the combination of Flare Blitz and Head Smash. And Head Smash with Tera could claim a couple of knockouts, which Flare Blitz wouldn't do, so that's why I went with Tera Rock instead of Tera Fire. My Hisuian Arcanine is base 90, and that's the same as the Lilligant and Kangaskhan, so yeah, I needed to go max speed for those, and max speed, max attack with the Enigmatic Choice Band is just doing incredible damage. Head Smash even two shots a Max Fist Def Mega Blastoise, which is his highest defensive mon. No, that's for the Fortress, but Fortress gets OHKO'd by Flare Blitz, of course. Like I said, not much things that really take on the Hisuian Arcanine, so that's why I went with this. The extreme speed is for things like a Sneasler that's otherwise sweeping. If he gets up the Unburden boost, I still have extreme speed that does over 50% damage, and kinda hopefully stop a Sneasler sweep that way. Number 3 is going to be Sandy Cheeks, the Sandy Shocks, as a special breaker and a rock setter. Max special attack, 88 in special defense, a 168 in speed, with a timid nature. I went with 168, so I am 1 point faster than max speed Kangaskhan and Lilligant. Because yeah, I won't be outspeeding with base 101 speed the Sneasler and the Tapu Koko. I gave it a magnet, so the volt switches will do even more damage. He only has the Donphan to block my volt switches, and Hidden Power of Earth Power is a 2-shot on regular max HP Donphan, because his special defense is not all that great. Thunder Wave to paralyze a switching in of a, I don't know why he would, Sneasler. It can, which is more likely, paralyze a Rillaboom that's switching in, and other things though that can be speedy, like a Broad Kangaskhan that's offensive, and of course Stealth Rocks to chip away at my opponent's team. He does not have a lot of rock resistances, just the Donphan and the Sneasler. He does not have a big weakness, only the Mandibus, but still 12% chip on every switch in is always great to have. Number 4 is going to be a bit more of a defensive set. It's Pepe Le Pew as a special wall with max HP, max special defense, and 8 in special attack. Calm Nature with the Aftermath in case he needs to take on a physical attacker and gets killed. It still does 25% damage to that mon. Acid Spray, Sludge Bomb, Dark Pulse, and Hex. Because of the Assault Vest, I do live 2 Water Spouts from a max special attack modest Mega Blastoise. And I do live 2 Draco Meteors, I believe, from a Goodra. Acid Spray is there to knock down the special attack stat of any of special defensive stat of any opponent, and Sludge Bomb is there to have the 30% chance to toxic anything or poison anything. Dark Pulse is mainly there as a stab option, but can also hit a Hypno if he brings it. And I didn't really know what I wanted as a fourth move, so I went with Hex in case Sludge Bomb poisoned. But I do think, now thinking about it, I want to change that up to Flamethrower, which I will do after finishing this recording. Number 5 is going to be a Setup Sweep Cloister, aka Bivalve. 32 in HP, max attack, 224 in speed with an Adamant Nature and Skill Link. With 224 speed, I will ensure I will outspeed everything after Shell Smash. And even without a... I have to look correctly. Yeah, so this thing will be outspeeding, I believe, will always outspeed a Donphan, no matter what set, how much speed investment Donphan has. And after going +2, I will always outspeed Sneasler and Tapu Koko, and at +4 I will outspeed even Sneasler with a Unburden boost. The White Herb is to get rid of these defense drops. Icicle Spear and Rock Blast is basically everything I need, because he has a big ice weakness with 5 mons weak to it. The two things that do take Icicle Spear are the Blastoise and the Fortress, and for those Pokemon I do have the Rock Blast because they take neutral damage from that. And a base 125 move is always nice to have, because Skill Link ensures me I will always hit the Rock Blast 5 times. Ice Shard is there in case there's an Unburdened Sneasler up against me, and at +2 Ice Shard is a 2-hit KO against Sneasler with Unburdened, so that's always great. And last but not least, we bring Quaquaval, the General, as a hazard removal set this week. Yeah, only thing I was, after building the first 5 months, I was really scared of was the hazard situation of his. He does have great removal with Koko, Mandibus and Lilligant being able to defog, Blastoise, Donphan and Fortress being able to Rapid Spin. So I don't want to go hazard stacking against him, but he still has a couple of ways of getting up his own hazards, mainly with Fortress, Donphan and Sneasler. So yeah, I wanted to get rid of the hazards, especially because Celesteela and Hisuian Arcanine take neutral damage. Now, while the Hisuian Arcanine takes super effective damage from it, Cloyster takes super effective damage from it, from Stealth Rock, so kinda wanted them gone, so that's why the heavy duty boots. 40 in HP, max defense, 216 speed with the jolly nature. This will ensure I will outspeed a Goodra. I have Knock Off, Close Combat, Roost and Rapid Spin as a moveset. Knock Off is always great for expecting switch-ins and get rid of hazard of items. Close Combat is there mainly for the Kangaskhan. I did have Icicle Spear on this, but I decided against it because I wanted to keep Quaquaval healthy, so that's why I put Roost on it. And Rapid Spin is there for the hazard removal of hazard on my side of the field. So looking at my opponent's team, what I did for the first time, at least consciousness, what I did, this is the first time I really thought about what my opponent was going to bring. So the things I expect my opponent to bring are the Mandibus, because it walls pretty well against my team. I expect the Sneasler to come because it matches up offensively very good against my team. It's one of the reasons why I did not bring my Dragapult, for example. The poison typing against the Screamtail is not ideal, to say the least. Close combat into my Hisuian Arcanine is painful, to say the least. Cloyster doesn't take the fighting type moves. Arboliva and Tropius don't take the poison type moves, so I expect the Sneasler to fully come. Mega Blastoise is probably going to be there because it's a Mega Blastoise. If I would have had one on my team, which I could have had, but I didn't, I would bring it every week. So next up is the Fortress. I expect him to bring that for the hazard removal and setup, or at least the setup on the team. And Body Press and Gyro Ball will do pretty well against me. In general, the Donphan is something I expect to come because Tera Captain and can can be his hazard removal. And last but not least is the Tapu Koko. I expect that to come over the Rillaboom because I don't really see Rillaboom do all that much into me. But I gotta say, if there's anything that I would change on the 6 he would bring, it will probably be the Koko for the Rillaboom because of terrain. So this is the team I will put up against my opponent Hunch this week. I will connect with Hunch in a second and we will start the battle from there. See you all there.
So here we are with Hunch. Looking at his team, there's only one thing that I mispredicted, and that was the Fortress that did not come, but it was the Rillaboom. So the Manabus is here, the Lilligant is not. Mega Blastoise is there, no Hypno as I thought, just like the Kang. Donphan is there. Goodra is not there. Fortress is not there. So those can go. Rillaboom, Sneasler and Koko are all there. What is a good way to start off? Rocks will be nice. I expect to start to see the Koko or the Rillaboom lead, honestly. And from those two, I expect Koko to come before the Rillaboom. So I think I'll start off with Sandy Cheeks and go from there. Blastoise, okay. I can start off doing massive damage against that thing. I did change up the the flamethrower against on the Pepe Pew, so Volt Switch against a max attack will do a big chunk, and I can switch into General to take a water type move. Rillaboom, I Volt Switch, do 26% against a Rillaboom. So this is not HP invested. If I go to Hisuian Arcanine, he can only use Grassy Glide against me to do damage, and I always kill with Flare Blitz, and Flare Blitz feels kind of free, so I'm going to do that. Coldogo comes in, and I'm not gonna Terrestrialize into a rock type because his 51 big damage Rocky Helmet. Let's see, Donphan. So this is not. So this is probably something like. No, not max HP. How about max defense? So the first spread, the original Donphan utility spread. Donphan Uber's defensive. Donphan utility. This comes close. He does have the ability to Terrestrialize now, while I'm being banded. He can go ground, grass and ice. So, general, let's see what he goes for. Just rocks, I can remove those immediately. And I can click knock, or I can click knock off to get rid of his rocky helmet, which I think I do like more. And anything except for the Blastoise switch in would be good. So I'm clicking knock off. He goes for Blastoise, of course. Can get knocked off. I'm clicking rapid spin to get rid of hazards. And let's see what he wants to click against me, because I should be relatively safe against this. Terrain pulse. Ooh, great tech. Gotta say that. I'm clicking Volt Switch again. He's probably going into the Donphan. 61%. Yeah, if this did around this, then Sandy Shock's Earth Power is not quite a knockout. So I think he is going to... How much do I need to Tera Rock on Doggo, to be honest? Tera Ice will give me quite a hard call, because Tera Rock gives me the weakness to the Rillaboom's Grassy Glide, which I don't want, and I can prevent rock setup with this, so I think I'm gonna do that. There we go. So, not quite as I expected it to go. I do have my switch in for that. I think he's going to CC. White Herb. No White Herb. What are the chances he's going to stay in against this? He's not White Herb. I mean, I can see the Manibus come in on me, because he doesn't really click anything else besides close combat. I can click the Toxic, but if he stays in, that's a problem. And Sandy Cheeks, yeah, I have to click Zen Headbutt, even though he's probably gonna switch. 26%, okay, that's information I guess. Coco. So this is probably max attack. I'm going into Pepe. 32% into Pepe Le Pew. Yeah, that means he's probably modest, right? Yeah. I feel like Acid Spray is the way to go. U-turn. 20%. Fair enough. Sneasler. Electric Seed pops. SBF drop. 6%. Okay. Sneasler. And Burden Sweeper. At -2. Close combat will most likely KO me. Flamethrower, see if I live. 40%, no burn, like I got. He's clicking Fire Punch again. It's going pretty low now. At +1 extreme speed. Will or will not KO this? Easily. Yeah. Is he going to preserve this? It just matches up so well against the rest. Have to make a play right now, I feel like. So nothing takes the head smash pretty well, except this. I feel like I have to make this play because otherwise I keep being behind, so I'm gonna make it. Oh, thank God. I made the right call. There we go. So Sneasler is not unburdened anymore. So the Mega Blastoise. Mega Blastoise. Head Smash if he is... What have I seen? Terrain Pulse. Did we see any damage on this thing already? Terrain Pulse. We did see the Terrain Pulse. Rapid Spin did 11% from Pepe, from Quaquavel. So there is some defense investment. If this is the case against, it's pretty much a roll if he is at 88%. But it is in my favor, I feel like. How much will Terrain Pulse do against me in this form? Terrain Pulse, great bring by the way, gotta say. Electric Terrain, pretty much guarantees Oko there. I'm at 90, so oh damn, Water Pulse is gonna take me out. But this thing is pretty killable now, so I guess that's something. And he doesn't have a Volt switch in, which is great. I'm gonna click Stealth Rocks because they are gonna stay up, and I guess he's going to switch this. If not, good play for him. I guess he does have Aura Sphere, so what do I need in against my Cloyster to set up now? Perhaps the Rillaboom? Let's see. Cloyster against Rilla. Have we seen anything from the Rillaboom? His leftovers. Leftovers. Yeah, 2 Grassy Glides will kill. I can't outspeed the Coco and the Rillaboom, and me being Tera Ice now isn't helping necessarily. He stays in and goes for Terrain Pulse, but I live, which is great. I am clicking Volt Switch. against Sneasler. Sneasler, Unburden. Why is close combat KOing me? He does not get Unburden boosted. Ice Shard does do damage. Let's keep it at that. Coco, yeah, that thing's probably gonna sweep me. 62%, yeah. Yeah, I guess this is GG, because I'm not gonna live that, nor this. Damn. Too bad, because I felt pretty confident going into this battle, but I mean, I did get 3 kills, but the Tera on the Sandy Shocks was unfavorable, let's say that. Because I lost my only true Coco answer. So GG to Hunch. Yeah, I think I've said everything and already, and this video is going long enough. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully see you all next week. Bye. So after today's battle, I've decided to make a couple of changes to the team. Yeah, some things have been feeling like they didn't work out that well, so I decided to change things up. To start off with, I decided to drop Cloister and take Vaporeon on into the team. I had a point left over, so this was a pretty easy call to make. So yeah, we can't use setup Cloister anymore, which hasn't worked out for me anyways. Yeah, even though it has a massive defensive stat, I feel like it's still pretty frail, mainly because of that 50 HP stat, and yeah, it didn't work out, so I went with a tried and true bulky water type in Vaporeon, which I will name Rule 34, of course. After that, I decided to drop Skuntank. It's been decent, but I wanted to get rid of something else, and I needed more points for that, so I dropped Skuntank for 4 points and picked up Arbok for 2 points. I know Arbok from my Season 2 in the Burn Tower Draft League, and it did pretty well for me, and for 2 points I still think this is a bargain. Intimidate is always great, so a great Pokemon with more physical defensive capabilities and Vaporeon with more special defensive capabilities make my team at least feel a bit more bulkier. And last but not least, we dropped Tropius, which I feel like did not do all that much, and I picked up Guzzlord. And by dropping Tropius, I missed out on a Tera Captain, so I made Guzzlord a Tera Captain. Immediately after picking it up, I decided to give it the Tera Dark type, because we always need one stab option on Tera types, and I just don't really like Tera Dragon all that much. Next up, we got the Tera Steel. Yeah, it gives me a resistance to the fairy types that are coming into this. It gives me a resistance to the dragon types that's coming into me. Yeah, and bug types are neutral, I guess, against this. Not really sure. But for bug types and dark type or fighting type moves, I still have the Tera Fairy option to go into this. Yeah, Tropius just felt like dead weight, honestly. I brought it to 1 or 2 games, but didn't do all that much, so I decided to bring Guslord into the team. Guslord is 3 points. So point wise for the team it's not a problem, because I got those points from the drop from the Scun tank. But in Tera Captain points, yeah, I am now 2 points over, so I decided to drop Sandy Shocks as a Tera Captain and made Arboleva a Tera Captain for the rest of the season. Yeah, Arboleva is like 6 points or 8 points, and Sandy Shocks is 11, so the 2 points I use extra for the Guslord I get for this way. So I decided to give it the Tera Grass option, because Grass is a pretty decent typing or for Arboleva. And the one thing I learned from Pokeaim or Joey is to always give it Tera Fairy, because it does do pretty well with Tera Fairy. And in the end, because I wanted to resist the fire types, I also gave it Tera Water. Water just having the two weaknesses in Grass and Electric, and let's be honest, you normally don't bring Grass or Electric types for Arboleva. So those are the changes I've made for the rest of the season. Not sure if I have any transaction points left at this point, but we'll see. So yeah, I maybe bring 1 or 2 of my new Pokemon to next week's games. You'll just have to turn in and see if they are coming or not. So thank you all again for watching, and hopefully see you next week. Bye!